Affirmation that we have this morning is, I am unique, one of a kind, and wonderful. Say this affirmation 3 times if we could. I am unique, one of a kind, and wonderful. I am unique, one of a kind, and wonderful. I am unique, one of a kind, and wonderful. And that wonderful and the other wonderful go together completely and easily because we are one, we're individual, we're unique, but we're all wonderful, and we're wonderfully created. And you know, every single one of us is created different than everybody else. So many people think about the purpose of life as something that's going to be clearly defined, and you're just going to get it like a revelation and a light. And in some cases, some people do. And others are always looking for their purpose in life. But in fact, our purpose and meaning in life is something that we are moving through the process of always becoming and knowing. Because life is constantly, as Dr. Garlish used to say, ebbing and flowing in constant progression towards the understanding and realization of who and what we are. Because we've always been who and what we are. We're unique, we're wonderful, and we're perfect, and yet we don't always understand that, and so we're kind of working towards that. Our question today, what gift do I bring? How many of you remember going either Christmas or birthday or some party, and there's a package, and it's just wrapped up so beautifully and so tight, and it just is so strikingly beautiful that you say, I want this gift. I want to see it, I want to have it, I want to experience it. But what does people say so often? Oh, it's too pretty to open. Our lives are very much like that. Every one of us comes as a gift. Every one of us comes as a gift from God to life. And we come as a gift from God, but not only do we come as a gift from God, but what do we know from our teaching and our philosophy is that we are created in the likeness and image of our Creator. And one of the things that sets us distinctly apart from some other believers of traditional Christian faith is that we believe that we are created good. That we are created in the likeness and image of our Creator, we're created good. And so we come into this life experience, we don't only come into this life experience, but we exist always in a state of goodness because God created all that is. Genesis begins with that statement. God created everything that is, and He created it and said that it was good. And that was it. And from Genesis to Revelation, we don't see a change to that. But we do see a change in the way that people respond, the way that people behave. And because people behave in a certain way, and because churches and religion and authority figures and other people have told them, when you misbehave, there are consequences. And those consequences are that you are cut off from God, you are bad, you're all of these things. But in fact, the love of God prevails always and everywhere as the constant. And we are created in that likeness and that image. And we are that gift. We're given. We're presented. And so the question that I'm asking you this week and that I ask you to take home with you and if you're using these questions the way that we've designed them, it is several times during this week in your meditations or reflections or just in your thought. And the question that I'm asking you to ask yourself is, what gift do I bring? We're not talking about one single gift. We're talking about what gift do you bring into the experience of life? Because the gift that you are, and that I am, and all of us are, is that we are the essence of God. So we are created perfectly and with limitless potential, with dynamic ideas and thoughts, and yet we come into this experience, and we come in first wrapped up. And so out of that, we come into life and we come into a circle of family, and then we come into a circle of friends, we come into a circle of community, we come into a circle of school, we come into a circle of work, we come into this bigger and bigger circle. And in the whole process, every single person that we come in contact does something to us. They bring a gift to us. We bring a gift to them. Some of the gifts are nice and good to have. Some of them aren't very good. Well, some people are bringing you gifts and have brought you gifts. There weren't much gifts, but they came. And they were things that were given to you. And a lot of them were given to you out of love because they believed that they were right. They believed that they were true. What is it that we are giving? What is it that we are giving? What is it that we are willing to give? First, we have to unwrap ourselves. And some of us never get totally finished with unwrapping ourselves. The idea would be you'd think that we'd unwrap ourselves at birth. But we don't. What happens is we come into this life wrapped up in this beautiful package. And every one of us are wrapped in a beautiful package, which is this physical body. And then out of that, we begin to think things. We begin to be taught things. We get ideas. We begin to move through the process. You know, one of the things we know about computers is you buy the silly thing. I mean, it's very useful and wonderful, but it comes with this hardware, and then it comes with software so that you can use it, right? And then you begin to use it, and then you begin to add other software to it because you want to do this or you want to do that. And pretty soon, some of the stuff that's in there is causing all kinds of problems. And especially you begin to download things from the internet and you go different places. All this stuff is in there. And you've got now a device that began so beautifully and wonderfully made that is now a mess because it's got these conflicting things. It is the process of all this stuff comes in, all this stuff comes out, and it's very innocent, the process that we go through. The greatest gift that all of us have as human beings and spiritual beings is that we are created in the likeness and image of our Creator. We're created in the likeness and image of our Creator. And if we're created in the likeness and image of our Creator, then that essence and that presence is a part of who we are. And that allows us to be limitless in what we do if we will allow the limitlessness to come forth. You know, some people ask me about speaking. And years ago, when I was in seminary and when I was in college, you know, speech was one of my majors, and then, of course, theology. And in seminary, we're taught never, never, never to speak the way that I speak. Never. I have been told, you know, in my education and training that you never, ever get up and give a sermon or a homily or a speech or a talk unless you think it out first, you lay it out, and then you present it in a certain format. And then gradually I decided I don't need to follow that format. I can stand up and I can talk and I can say anything I want because who made the rule? And I learned gradually over a period of a few years that it was easier to do it this way. And it was easier to do it this way because that's a gift that I have that I allowed to come forth in my life. And it isn't that I know so much or I remember so much. It is that I simply step back and I allow that reality of truth to come forth in what I have to say. And very often I'll be at a meeting, and not very often, but occasionally I've been at meetings where there's going to be a keynote speaker or a speaker, and for whatever reason they don't show up. And somebody knows me, and they'll come out, and I'll be there in the audience. They'll come out and say, so-and-so didn't show up. Can you come up and fill 45 minutes? And I always say, sure. Yeah, sure. I could do that. Because it has become it's a gift that comes forth. Every one of us has gifts that come forth. Every one of us has talents. Every one of us has abilities. Every one of us has those things. If we could just put all of the things like in the computer that have caused this inability to operate the way that we're designed to operate, then we can do wonderful and magnificent things. The question is, what gift do I bring? What gift do you bring? What gift do I bring? Not only in big ways like standing here talking or your career or what you do, but what are the gifts that you bring every day? What are the gifts that you bring to life? How many of you know somebody that whenever you see them, you feel good? Yeah? And how many times do you see somebody and you say, oh my gosh, here she comes. Oh my gosh. How many times do you say, how are you to somebody when you don't mean how are you just mean hey. And you say, how are you? And then they start telling you how they are, you know. So you've got all of these people in your life. What is your gift? You know, what is the gift that you bring? When you come into a room, what is the gift that you bring? When you come into a business experience, what is the gift you bring? When you get up in the morning in your household, what is it that you bring, is the gift that you bring? What is it? We're constantly bringing forth gifts because we are a gift. We are a gift ourselves from the hand and the heart and the mind of God. We are the essence of God. And some of us really work hard at keeping that computer and keeping that gift wrapped up and stuffed down. And you know, every single situation, every single circumstance, every single telephone call that you have, every single conversation that you have, every walk that you take down the street, every moment of your life, there's an opportunity to give a gift. And the question is, what gift do I bring? Because when we ask ourselves that question, we have to be honest, and it's a part of looking at the essence of who and what we are. And what we're essentially saying in that question is, what gift do I bring if I am the essence of the presence and the power of God? What gift am I bringing into every circumstance and situation, into every conversation, into every room, into every moment, into every day? What am I bringing? How am I bringing forth that essence of who and what I really am? Or am I bringing the essence of something that I'm not? The reality is that sometimes the gift is to be honest. Sometimes the gift is to sit down and tell someone instead of simply pretending. Because when we pretend, what gift are we giving? We're giving a lie. How many of us live in relationships that we don't want to fix or be honest in? Not only romantic relationships, but relationships with friends and coworkers and other people. How many of those do we do? Honesty, integrity, and the ability to be and reflect the essence and the presence of who and what we are. The good news is that every one of us is a limitless gift. The good news is that every one of us is bringing a gift always and everywhere in every thought, word, and deed of our lives. Divine mind is connected to our mind. And if divine mind connects to our mind, then our mind must behave according to divine mind. So we get out of the way. That's what I learned to do when I started talking. Get out of the way. Just get out of the way, and good things will happen. And what is it in every circumstance and situation of our lives we can do is call forth the reality of divine mind and let that come forth. We don't need to have to worry about what we're going to say or what we're going to do. We can just know that we're going to be divinely guided, divinely directed in the ways that we should go, the thoughts that we should think, and the things we should say. And the things that we should say are always things of integrity and honesty. And you know what happens when we tell a lie? It doesn't hurt the person that we're telling it to as much as it hurts us, because we're denying who and what we are. So this week, go out and in your silent and quiet times reflect upon, what gift do I bring? And maybe every day you want to do that. Every morning and every night you want to reflect on, what gift did I bring to that encounter yesterday with so-and-so? What gift did I bring to that meeting? What gift did I bring when I was standing in line at the store? What gift did I bring when I said that to my sister or my brother or my neighbor? What gift did I bring? Was it really true? Was it really honest? Was it really integrity? Was it really the essence of God? Or was it something else? And if it was something else, then maybe the gifts that I'm giving are not the ones that I want to be giving.